Serving in the army was also important for me because first it was the first time I left home, and suddenly I was only among my people my age, and usually I served in very remote small bases, so they sent me to the top of the hills all over Israel and also in Sinai, and I remember the beauty of the landscape at the different hours. I was probably the only soldiers in the Israeli army who volunteered to be a guard, to sit long shifts guarding, because I was able to see the changes of the light on the desert and the birds and to be alone. Until today, I love to be alone. And when you are in the army, it's very hard to get some loneliness because you leave 16 people in one room, you know, in the system of the hot bed. One is working, the other sleeps in the bed, and they shift. So being a guard allowed me to be alone. And there was another thing also that wherever they threw me, immediately I went and I looked for the path where I can walk and think, because I can think and write only when I'm walking. I have this strange thing in my brain. I need the ventilation of walking. And when every normal soldier goes first to find the canteen or the dining room or whatever, or where the place of the girls are, I went and looked for my place and walked there. You know, serving in the army in such a young age is quite terrible, of course, yes. And yet it taught me so much about responsibility, about the need to do things in a right way, and to also to feel this comradeship that you can feel maybe only when you are in the army, when you really are dependent on others and on their attention to you. And it was important to be away from home, as I said, and to do things that I felt were important, because today, as you know, I'm quite critical towards the behavior of our army and our government. And yet I never forget that the Israeli army is not only the occupying army of the Palestinians, but it's also the army that defends Israel. And we need an army to survive there in the Middle East. Without an army, we shall not exist even one day, as my Arab friends tell me. So we have to separate between the occupation and the defending. And since I was doing the defending part, not the occupying part, I felt that I'm doing something significant.